This is Radio Brockley.
Hello, welcome to Brockley News, Radio Brockley's weekly show, keeping you up to date with all you need to know about what's happening in and around the hospital. I'm Alan Joyce, and coming up today we'll be finding out more about a new music show here on Radio Brockley called the Alpha Sessions, hosted by Emma Nouriel. We'll be chatting to her shortly about the launch of the show's brand new website. We'll also be hearing from the Aspire charity, who'll be telling us about their cross-channel swim fundraiser. Then at 8:30, your chance to win some Radio Brockley goodies without leaving your bed. It's Bedside Bingo with David Rauch in the hot seat. Good luck if you're playing along. And then at 9 o'clock this evening, it's all your choice of tunes. The Sunday request show with Keith Reeve will be on between 9 and 10 tonight, so start thinking of your favourites. So stay tuned to London's longest running hospital radio station, Radio Brockley. So first tonight we hear more about Radio Brockley's very own new music show called the Alpha Sessions, which you can hear on Friday evenings at 8 and Sunday evenings at 6. The show's host is Emma Nouriel, and she's here to tell us more about it. Hi, Emma.
Hello.
Firstly, tell us, how did you get the idea for doing the Alpha Sessions?
Well, I've had a love for new music for quite some time now, and there's something about the buzz when you find out about the new act. You start playing them on the show, and they start gigging, they start doing really, really well for themselves. A typical example is an artist that I've been playing for quite a while now. They're called Mousy. They've recently been heard on other big commercial radio stations, and it's such a great feeling to be like, I was playing them 3 years ago.
I was going to say, have you been to the gym or out somewhere and actually heard one of the
Yeah, it's pretty crazy actually. I recently signed up to a gym, and I was just in the change rooms, and suddenly I thought, hang on, I've heard this song somewhere. Where have I heard it before? And then the bizarre thing was straight after that was another song that I played in Alpha Sessions, and then after that. So it felt a bit like they took my Alpha Sessions playlist and just put it on in the change rooms.
So what sort of music do you play on the show?
Absolutely anything goes. At the moment, we seem to have a run through of quite a few 80s influenced bands. I don't do it on purpose. I don't purposely seek out 80s influenced bands. They seem to be just the artists that attract me. But if you do want to get involved and you are a musician yourself, then feel free to give me a Facebook, Twitter or email address. Shall I give you the details?
Yeah, I was going to say, give us all the details how people can get in touch.
Okay, so you can email emma@thealphasessions.com. You can like our Facebook page, facebook.com/Alpha Sessions. Like the page, you can write on the wall, send us a message. Or if you're on Twitter, we're at Alpha Sessions again. Follow us, send us a message, etc.
And you've got a brand new website that you can tell us about as of this week.
Yes, we do. It feels quite surreal to say so, because I'll be honest, we've been in the making for about 18 months now. So it feels a massive, massive relief to get it started. It's www.thealphasessions.com. And on there you can find out all about us, where we broadcast to. You can listen to the podcast as well. And you can also there's a contact form on there. So if you'd rather contact me that way, then that's also cool. You don't have to be a musician to contact me. If you want to suggest some songs or just say hi, then please do so.
So out of people you've played on the show recently, or anyone you can recommend in particular?
Oh, there's a load of them actually. I don't even know where to start. We've had some fantastic artists in live. We've had a brilliant artist called Carrie Harbour, who actually is quite famous apparently in Malta, which is where she originates from. But hearing her live is brilliant. She's got a great track called I'd Rather Die, which is amazing.
She sung for Annie Lennox, didn't she?
She sang for Annie Lennox. She's got a great cover of Sweet Dreams as well. There's also another lovely lady called Annie Lovell, who is classically trained. She actually played for the Damon Albarn Orchestra.
Wow.
So that's quite impressive. And she's great on the keys, and she's got a fantastic voice as well. And we actually had a lovely lady in this afternoon called Katherine Rose, who I believe you're going to be playing very shortly.
We're going to come on to that very shortly. I was going to say, for anyone, if you're thinking of maybe inviting in a band and they can't play live for any reason, I mean, is that a problem, or can you play other tracks
if you can't play live, we do what we call a little bit of a playback. So what that means is we play 2 or 3 of your recorded tracks, depending on how big your back catalogue is, how new you are to the industry. Some people that are really, really new only have a couple of recorded tracks, so we'll play them. And then we'll ask a bit about them, where they originated from, and they'll talk to us about the song as well.
Cool stuff. So, yeah, you mentioned Katherine Rose.
Yes.
So she came in this afternoon, and she's going to be featured on a show coming up very shortly, isn't she?
Yes, it'll be hopefully to air this weekend coming. So it'll be Friday 8. and Sundays at 6.
Fantastic. Well, we'll hear a track from that in a minute, but just remind us again of the details of the website and everything.
So the website is www.thealphasessions, that's alpha with a PH, by the way, .com. It's also .co.uk, we've got both, so either or, whichever one you prefer. And then Twitter is @alphasessions, facebook.com/alphasessions. Like the page. We are so near to getting 100 and we need your help. And also follow us on Twitter @alphasessions.
Well, I have to say, I was here for Catherine's live set in the studio this afternoon. It really is wonderful to hear it all. You must tune in this Friday to hear it all in full.
There's something about it that just gives you goosebumps, doesn't it?
She's got an amazing voice, and we're going to hear a track that she performed live in the studio right now. This is her then live at Radio Brockley. Well, obviously it was earlier on this afternoon, so maybe not quite live now. But she performed this one in the studio. This is called 4-Leaf Clover. Thanks, Emma.
Midnight shimmer, the moon a purple glow, the angels stooping to see this beautiful show, and my heart grows sore as I yearn to show you more. So let me wander and drift right to your door. Lover, stay a little longer. I could feed you in love, I could feed you in love. I could make you stronger. Yes, I could be your four-leaf clover. And I know a place where there's faith and luck and hope, where the sun is like gold and the four-leaf clovers grow. But my heart is sore as I yearn to show you more. So let us wander and drift right to your door. Lovers, stay a little longer. I could feed you in love, I could feed you in love. I could make you stronger. Yes, I could be your four-leaf clover. Lover, stay a little longer. I could feed you in love, I could feed you in love. I could make you stronger. Yes, I could be your four-leaf clover. I could be your midnight lover. I could be like no other.
It's an absolute privilege to be able to hear live music like that here in the studio. Her name is Katherine Rose. You can hear the full interview with her this coming Friday evening here on Radio Brockley at 8 o'clock on the Alpha Sessions with Emma Nouriel. We'll have more here on Brockley News after these messages.
SCAT Bone Cancer Trust are based in the Bone Tumour Unit and are dedicated to the advancement of bone cancer research, to providing the best possible care and support at each stage of treatment, and to improving the quality and dignity of life for all patients. But they need your help to continue their great work. They rely heavily on the individual efforts of their donors, supporters and fundraisers. So perhaps you could hold a fundraising event among friends, your local community, or even your local schools. Maybe you could create your own Just Giving website in aid of SCAP, or you could simply donate directly by cheque, banking order, payroll giving, or pledge card. For further information, visit their website at scapbonecancertrust.org and read the inspirational stories of how they have helped transform the lives of some of our patients, as well as other ways you can help support them. Or you can contact them by phone on 0208 909 5575. The SCAP Bone Cancer Trust, transforming lives.
On 999 AM, this is Radio Brockley.
The Friends shop is situated in the outpatients department and is ready to sell you cold drinks, sandwiches, confectionery, newspapers, magazines, stationery, gifts, therapy aids and much, much more. It's open Monday to Friday from 9am to 5pm and is staffed entirely by volunteers. All proceeds from the Friends shop go to the benefit of the hospital, so why not pop along to outpatients and see what you can buy.
Broadcasting to the Royal National Orthopaedic Hospital in Stanmore. This is Radio Brockley.
And this is Brockley News, here till 8:30 this evening, keeping you updated on all that's happening in and around the hospital, and also here on Radio Brockley as well. Don't forget, we're on air 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Still to come this evening on Brockley News, we'll be hearing from the Aspire charity very shortly. But still to come this evening, we've got bedside bingo at 8:30, your chance to win some Radio Brockley goodies. David Rauch calling up the numbers. The ward rep should be up with you very, very shortly if they're not there already. And then between 9 and 10 tonight, we have a whole hour of your favourite tunes. The Sunday request show will be here, and Keith Reeve is in the hot seat tonight. Don't forget, if you want a request on Radio Brockley at any time, do call us on extension 5483. And I just point you in the general direction of Brockley News Extra tomorrow evening at 8 o'clock as well, when you'll have another chance to hear from the Hospital Broadcasting Association's President, June Snowden, on her recent visit to Radio Brockley. She'll be telling us all about her work. Well, next tonight we hear more about the Aspire charity based here in the hospital grounds. Now, they've been very busy fundraising with a sponsored cross-channel swim event. And let's find out more now with their reporter, Amy Wackett.
I'm Amy from Aspire, and I'm here with Katie, who organises the National Aspire Channel Swim. Katie, can you tell us a little bit more about what the Aspire Channel Swim is about?
Well, the Aspire Channel Swim is a challenge in which people swim the distance of the English Channel, so that's 22 miles, in the comfort of their local pool. So that could be any pool which is local to them, as long as they're aware of what the size is. It's a challenge that you do over 12 weeks, so you can do it whenever you're free, whenever you have some spare time, and you can work it around your everyday life. The swim itself raises money for Aspire, who provide practical help for people with spinal cord injuries. And so it's a challenge that you can adapt around your everyday life whilst also supporting a great charity.
What kind of people normally take part in this challenge? Is it people who are normally into swimming? What sort of range of people do you get?
Well, this is a challenge that everyone can take part in, whether you're 5 years old and you can take part as a team, or if you're 85 and you're doing it in your spare time because you really love swimming. So it's a challenge that every single person can take part in. If you don't feel that you can do the whole distance, you could take part as a team with your friends, with your family, and combine the distance between you. Or if you feel that 22 miles is easy for you, you could also swim further. We have people this year swimming 100 miles. So it's really a challenge that you can adapt to your everyday life and how you're comfortable and how you enjoy swimming.
Okay, brilliant. So obviously this is a fundraiser for Aspire. How important is this challenge to Aspire's work?
Well, this year we aim to raise £400,000, which is a large part of Aspire's income throughout the year. The money that's raised helps support our services. So we have Aspire Housing, Aspire Grants, Aspire Independent Living Advisors that go into spinal injury centres and help people who are newly injured. So altogether, this money goes a long way towards helping people with spinal injuries. Without the fundraising of the Aspire Channel swimmers, we really couldn't do the work that we do, and it makes a huge difference to Aspire's work.
How did this challenge come about? How did it start?
Well, this challenge was a brainchild of the CEO of Aspire, Brian Carlin, who came up with this idea in 1999, and that's when Swim was launched. Since then, so this is our 14th year, we've raised over £3 million for people with spinal cord injuries throughout that time. Every year, the Swim starts in September, at the beginning of September, and runs to December. This year, it starts on the 9th of September and runs to the 1st of December. But for people who want to sign up now, because it's not too late, we're running another challenge where people can swim until Christmas, which gives them about 10 or 11 weeks to complete the challenge. It's also not too late if you fancy setting yourself a bigger challenge and swimming until the 1st of December, which would give you another 5.5 to 6 weeks to do that. So whether you want to do a quicker challenge and set yourself a big challenge of swimming in a shorter amount of time, or if you'd like the whole time, it's still not too late to sign up, and you can sign up by going to aspirechannelswim.co.uk.
I mean, 22 miles is a really long way, obviously. Just to give people an idea, if someone was to sign up now and they had 6 weeks to do it, how many lengths would that sort of involve doing per week to make that by Christmas?
Well, for the 12-week challenge, it calculates at 118 lengths a week. So that's something that can be done around your everyday life. If you swim 3 or 4 times a week, it's a manageable distance. If you fancy doing it over a shorter amount of time, it would require more work, but it depends on how fast you swim and how far you think you can swim. It's a challenge you can really adapt around your everyday life. If you don't feel that you can do the whole distance, combine it, swim 11 miles, and at that point you can swim, it will halve the distance, so that's about 60 lengths a week.
Okay, that sounds brilliant. Thank you, Katie.
Okay, that's right.
So I'm here with 2 ladies who are taking part in the Aspire Channel Swim here at the pool at the Aspire Centre. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Kim Elliott. I'm the Aspire Grants Officer. I've been working for Aspire for 13 years, and yes, we are doing the Channel Swim.
And we've also got...
I'm Hannah Bladen, and I'm the Assistant Manager Customer Services at Aspire National Training Centre. I've been here since January and did the Ride London 100 in August, and I've managed to be roped into another fundraising effort with Kim.
So the Aspire Channel Swim is normally over 12 weeks, but I hear that you're taking on a bit more of a challenge for this. Kim, do you want to talk a bit about that?
Yes, we were going to do it in 7 days, but now we're going to do it in 5 days. I roped Hannah into it in 5 days. So we plan to do 2 miles each day up until Thursday, Monday till Thursday. And then on Friday, we're going to do 3 miles here in the Aspire pool. So we hope people that are going to wave us on and cheer us on at the end.
That sounds like a huge amount of swimming. How long is that going to take you each day?
As a novice swimmer, I'm not actually quite sure how long it's going to take. I think Kim's better on her pacing for that, but we plan to do 1 mile in the morning and 1 mile at lunchtime or in the evening, so we're spreading it out a bit so we're not going to overload ourselves.
Brilliant, so huge dedication. And obviously this is a fundraiser, so can you tell us a bit about what you're doing on that side of things?
Well, we've got our Just Giving page where we've got people making donations on there, but we've also got our Aspire bucket, which is on the reception, and that has made us an absolute fortune. We hope to raise about £400 for Aspire.
Our target to start with was £200. We've raised £185 just on the bucket at reception at the moment and £40 online, so we've got £231. You can also text pool 87 to 770, and that will donate £2 by text to our campaign.
Sounds brilliant. So Kim, you obviously work within Aspire Services, so you get to see firsthand what fundraising goes towards in terms of Aspire's work. Can you tell us a little bit about what's inspired you to really fundraise for Aspire and really help with what you're doing?
Well, I'm the Aspire Grants Officer, and we support people who are paralysed through spinal cord injury for equipment such as wheelchairs, emotion wheels, assistive technology, to increase or maintain their level of independence. So that sort of spurs me on to raise as much money as we can for Aspire.
Okay, and what's the sort of typical amount that somebody might request for a grant for something they need for their disability?
For a manual wheelchair, the average amount is about £4,000. For a powered wheelchair, we're talking between £5,000 and £25,000. Emotion wheels are electronic wheels on a manual wheelchair to change it into a powered wheelchair. The emotion wheels are probably about £4,500. Assistive technology can range depending on what the particular person wants. It can go up to about sort of £1,600 for an Integra mouse.
Okay, and for anyone that might be interested in applying for a Aspire grant, how might they go about that?
You can download an application form on our website, or you can give me a call on 0208 420 6707 and speak to me, and I can send you an application either via post or via email, and we can take it from there.
Okay, great. And Hannah, you obviously work here at the Aspire National Training Centre, and you'll be doing all of your swim in the pool here. Tell us a bit more about the pool and the facilities here at the training centre.
Well, the pool has ramped access, so it's suitable for people in wheelchairs or with disabilities, also for children getting in and out of the pool. It's maintained between 30 and 32 degrees, so some of the challenge is going to be swimming in a pool that's a lot hotter than other standard pools, but that's the temperature is set at that level, so babies, children can learn to swim in a nice temperature, and also those disabled people using the pool, it helps with their rehabilitation as well. But yeah, certainly the challenge is going to be swimming in the hot pool, but I think that's part of the challenge for us.
And obviously you're involved with not just the pool but the whole centre. Can you tell us a little bit more about Aspire's National Training Centre?
Yes, we've got a fully inclusive fitness suite, and the SCI unit use it for part of their rehabilitation, as do the outpatient unit. So they use the sports hall for different activities ranging from badminton, table tennis, basketball, anything to get patients rehabilitated into exercise. We also offer a GP referral scheme. We run that for 6 weeks at a cost of £40, so that's using the gym facilities coordinated by our instructors. We've also got a range of classes, 53 classes I believe we currently have, and we've actually got an open evening on the 13th of November from 5:30 till 9 o'clock, where we're going to have all classes for free. We're hoping to run at least 10 to 12 classes for that, and then membership on the night. We'll have any new members that want to join on that evening won't have to pay a joining fee, so a great opportunity.
Okay, sounds brilliant. So if somebody is interested in coming using the facilities here, what can they do?
We've got a number of memberships available, so they can either use it pay as they go, they can come and use the pool, the gym if they've had an induction, or attend a class, or they can take out a monthly membership, and they can use all the facilities. Everything's available to them. Anyone that starts to use the gym can have an induction and then a programme written for them, which they can have reassessments for every 6 to 8 weeks. So the fitness instructors do get involved with that as well.
So Kim, obviously you've talked a lot about Aspire grants and the fantastic service that offers. What other services does Aspire offer to people with spinal cord injuries?
Part of the services department, we have a housing programme which will house, it's an interim housing programme where people from the spinal centre can go into one of our properties around the country whilst they're waiting for housing association property or their own properties to be readapted. We have an assistive technology manager who provides it's assistive technology around all the spinal centres for the patients to use whilst they're inpatients. We have independent living advisors, one in each spinal centre, that give advice and support to patients whilst they're in the centre. We have a campaigns manager who fights for better rights for disabled people, and then we have another manager who provides information on benefits for people with a spinal cord injury.
Fantastic, loads of work happening there, and it's fantastic that you're both fundraising for such a great cause as well. If people are interested in supporting you on this challenge, 22 miles between you over 5 days, how can they support?
They can either come into the reception at Aspire and put their spare change, pennies, notes, dig deep, put it in the bucket which is labelled with our names on, or they can go to the Just Giving website and look for Kim Hand Swim, capital K, capital H, capital S for Kim Hand Swim, all one word, or they can text, as I mentioned previously, they can text the word pool 87 followed by £2 to 770, and that will go that will link straight up to our Just Giving page. So that's an easier way to do it. In fact, you could do it right now if you've got signal on your phone. Send us a text.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Hannah and Kim, both swimming 22 miles in 5 days next week, and good luck to you both. And for anybody that wants any more information about Aspire or the Aspire Channel Swim, you can find that on our website at aspire.org.uk. We also have Facebook pages, one for the charity's work, the Aspire charity page, and we have a page for the Aspire National Training Centre. So do sign up to that. We're also on Twitter. You can follow us there. And for any more information or to speak to anyone, come and pop into the centre. There's always somebody here on reception who can point you in the right direction.
Don't forget, if you want to find out more about them, you can do so via their website. Go to aspire.org.uk. Now, don't forget, you can listen again to Brockley News by following the links from our website. Go to radiobrockley.org for further details. And you can tune into Brockley News Extra 5 days a week at midday for another chance to hear some of our recent interviews, plus on Monday evenings at 8 o'clock, when tomorrow, as I say, you'll get another chance to hear our recent interview with June Snowden from the Hospital Broadcasting Association. If there's anything else happening here in the hospital that you want to find out more about, you can call us on extension 5483 and we'll try and cover it on future editions of Brockley News. Up next on Radio Brockley, it's Bedside Bingo with David Rouch, your chance to win some goodies. And then at 9 tonight, it's your request on the Sunday Request Show with Keith Reeve. Brockley News returns at the same time next week. From me, Alan Joyce, though. Good night.